Well, suffice to say, we've been inundated with so many fucking garbage movies over the years that we actually have become kind of like unaware of the great art being made around us. And while some movies are absolutely not completely perfect, they are actually above the rest, kind of on a margin of either awesomeness or interestingness that is just kind of above what you'd say just a regular stupid superhero movie about a bunch of idiots. And no two movies personify this feeling of good enough and, in many aspects, great as both Alien Romulus and Nosferatu, which I saw last night in the movie theaters. I mean, these are outstanding movies. They're good to watch. They're entertainment. For once, we get fucking entertained. Now, sure, they're not completely perfect, and both movies definitely have their flaws, but you know what? Seeing such a spectacle was just simply awesome. I mean, there will always be good movies. There's wicked creatives out everywhere. You're not gonna, people say, oh god, Hollywood movies are dead, the movie theaters are dead, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's gonna be wants to watch movies anymore, but you know what, TV, video games, and movies, there's still always hits. Now, enough of me rambling about modern entertainment, and let's get to the actual movie itself. Now, the movie has a very, very interesting plot right off the get-go of a man in these kind of like 1800s European country. It's very dark, it's very gothic. It's just interesting and fascinating to watch. The historical representation is just fabulous. And you know what? You really can't fault them for having a fascinating type movie. You just want to explore every inch of this world. And I think on that aspect, they really nailed it. Willem Dafoe is at his Dafoeist, and he is truly incredible in this movie. No word of a lie, when Willem Dafoe showed up, there was a fucking cheers and laughter in the movie theater, as everybody absolutely loves this fucking actor. And in this movie, he's just awesome as some type of crazy rambling, doctor who actually ends up being right about everything, and it's fucking awesome. So, I mean, Defoe, legend, utter fucking legend, and he's at his Defoeist in this. But it's not just William Defoe who puts in a fantastic performance. You have Nicholas Hoult, who has amazing fucking performance, as well as Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok himself. Now, Orlok is way different than I thought he was. As a master vampire, he actually had this kind of Romanian Vlad the Impaler thing going on. And in my opinion, it actually made him somehow less scary because he had less of a ghoul type presence as just like a fucking just like some type of vampire count from Warhammer or something. And despite the fact that Nosferatu is not actually that scary in his own right, there is actually a few really terrifying moments. For example, when he first gets into the castle, it's fantastic, and there's just amazing tension there. And I got, when you're on the ship and the ship guy got attacked by Nosferatu, I fucking jump scared, and I had to look around to say, "Oh, I hope nobody saw that." So in that aspect, they got me with the jump scare, so that constitutes a victory. Now, the biggest point I wanted to bring up about the movie is it had a very weird sexual tone to it. And at the very beginning, I had to double take because you see Nosferatu basically giving it to this chick. And, throughout the whole movie, there's this very, very, very weird overtone. And despite the movie being absolutely full of grotesque imagery, you really have to wonder where they were going with this whole sexuality thing about it. And it makes you feel all gross inside. And I guess in that aspect, it kind of worked. So, in summary, you basically have Nosferatu not being this weird, creepy ghoul thing, as I kind of imagine his head, and more of a fucking Vlad the Impaler conqueror. But you have a fantastic atmosphere and a very spooky movie. So, I mean, its cinematography is beautiful and wonderful. I mean, it feels like you're looking at this beautiful art piece, which is very appreciated. But I mean, the movie has a semblance of not knowing what comes next, and I like that in a movie. I really do. So you got this movie that's pretty good, if not great. And yes, there are little things you could pick apart about it. And, everybody, including Lily Rose Depp and Emma Corrin, do a great job. But William Dafoe is just what we came for the movie for. And it's almost like when he comes on stage, everybody cheers. So, I mean, you have good movies being made now, and it's easy to be negative about absolutely fucking everything, but really, can you really fault them for making something that is actually pretty good and entertaining instead of picking apart every little thing? Let's just be thankful we still have movies like this being made. So in essence, I would say Nosferatu is a pretty damn good movie. I mean, Nosferatu wasn't very scary, and it was very questionable his design choice. But in the end, you get this kind of creaturey movie in this dark Victorian kind of or 1800s style period. It's just so great. It's fucking that great. I love it. And there's something to be said about movies that are interesting. They're an interesting watch. And there was one part that really stuck out to me, and that was when Nosferatu nerfed those two kids, because I had to do an absolute double take saying, no, he's not gonna fucking do that to the, and then he just whips its lifeless body after eating it. It's moments like that. It's like it's just a good watch, and it really makes you kind of shocked by its disturbing imagery. So I mean, in that aspect, you got my attention. I mean, William Dafoe is just an absolute fucking legend. So I mean, this is adding into another roster of just incredible movies, and it almost seems like this movie was designed for him. He must have had such a fucking fun time working on this, and then, like, in essence, everybody would have had a fun time making this because it's interesting to transport ourselves back in time to these different worlds and locations. We are here in 2025 where good movies are being made and good art is being made every single day. And if you can filter out through all the bullshit, you can find some pretty good little things to be excited about and actually absorb new ideas. So this is a solid like 8.59 out of 10 movie. It's good. It has its flaws. It wasn't what I was expecting at certain points, but good trailer, good movie, great watch. And by the look of things, Nosferatu grossed about $50 million off of its budget. So, I mean, you gotta say that it made some good, and capitalism fucking works. So if you make good shit without stupid politics and make something interesting for us, guess what? It makes money.